sure can. Got it?
I feel like it's traffic, but at least that kind of puts you in the best.
Yeah.
Kind of nice to get out of the
Plus I get to see you guys.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, Zoe will be in daycare on Friday, so she won't be working up a storm when everybody comes over.
Probably nicer for her.
Yeah. She's gonna have her own AFib or something. That's stress.
Very adventurous. Have you got other questions from anybody? Okay. I was walking out and he says, like, oh, hi. So he had plans. And I'm like, well, you're ready. And he's like, yeah. I was like, I'm Mike. He's like, hi, nice to meet you. He is. And I was like, all right. And then we started talking like, so
Good evening, everyone. It is 7:30, so we'll go ahead and start. Welcome to the Skokie Appearance Commission for January 14th, 2026. Quick reminder, we are live on YouTube. Hello to everybody watching, including my son at the University of Michigan. We will start the attendance roll call.
Time for the meeting.
Time for the meeting. We'll start the attendance roll call. When I call your name, please respond present. Thomas?
Present.
Tom? Do you go by Tom, don't you?
Tom is fine.
Okay. Charles?
Present.
Joe?
Present.
Julie?
Present.
Jay?
Present.
Carlos?
Present.
Jacob?
present.
Thank you. Let's next vote on the approved minutes for December 2025. We're going to also do that under roll call. Does anybody have a motion to approve the minutes?
Before we do that, Chairman, I noticed a little discrepancy in the minutes. The minutes they're kind of, there's a conflict in that the minutes say that there were, on each of the cases, there was an absent, the vote was unanimous with one absence. And then under the tabulation, they have 0 absent. I took notes at the last meeting. I don't recall that anyone was absent. So I think the notes are inaccurate. I think the tabulation is accurate. So
There were 7 total members.
7 were here, 7 voted.
With no
There
absence.
were no absentees. So I will make a motion that we approve the minutes of the December 10th meeting with that qualification.
Would anybody like to second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Okay, let's roll call for those minutes.
We have to- all in favor?
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Changed it.
Let's go ahead and roll call. Tom?
Approved. A.
Julie?
Approve.
Charles?
Approve.
Joe?
Approve.
Jay?
Approved.
Carlos?
Approved.
So approved. Oh, Jacob, did I miss you? Sorry about that. So approved. I want to make a quick note of the change of order of tonight's agenda items. We will handle new business item A first, new business item B second, and old business item A third. This, as the architect, is the same for the last two items. We're here to assess the appearance of your projects. We will not be looking at interior plans only as much as to inform of the exterior of your project. We trust that color samples and featured details are included within the submission documents, but if you brought physical samples, that would be helpful and welcome for review. We do take into consideration the comments of the village staff when rendering our opinions, and this will be read into the record as your case is being called. When your case is called, we'd ask that the applicant please come to the main podium next to the screen over here. If any concerned neighbors or citizens have input about a specific case, you can sit near the front and prepare to speak after our discussion with the applicant. At such time, if you could identify yourself and speak at the podium here in front of me. Public comment is limited to 3 minutes per person, and all comments must be relevant to the specific project before the body. A reminder that the commission members will listen but not engage with community members with regards to their comments. So with that said, if anybody is speaking tonight, we'd ask that at this time you please rise and be sworn in.
If you're going to give any testimony, please rise, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give tonight will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you.
Thank you. So the first item up for business is new business case number, the new business under number 2026-001A at 8103 Laramie Avenue. This is a Rosette. Do I have the wrong?
Yes.
This is a second floor addition, 8109 Laramie.
The applicant is proposing to construct a 450 square foot second floor addition. The addition will be located over the north portion of the first floor. Staff has no objections to proposed elevations. The brick and windows on the addition will match the existing materials. The addition has been designed to look as if it was part of the original construction. Good evening.
Good evening. Could you identify yourself and
Sure. Good evening. I'm Tracy Brewer with Compass Architecture. I'm one of the project architects with Chris Bremer, who's the applicant for the project.
hello?
I am Mike Long, and this is Carly Long for the homeowners.
Thank you for coming. Yeah, feel free to go ahead and explain what you have proposed.
Sure. So essentially, do I have the ability to move this?
I
up,
can
or-
move it.
Okay. The page with the color photographs might be the most straightforward. Thank you so much. And right where that color drawing is showing what we are proposing, and to the right of it shows you the existing home. So it's an existing home with a 2-story portion, and the homeowners are looking to add more space. They both work from home. So we're adding 2 rooms, essentially just extruding the 1-story garage mass up to get more space for them. Using the same common brick, using the same asphalt shingles, and the hip roof pitch is matching. That 2nd story has a real shallow roof pitch, but basically we're proposing matching that to make it as congruous as possible with the existing, to make it look and appear as much as possible as if it's always existed that way. The new window is an ABA pattern that matches the existing window on the 1st floor in the living room. And Mike, would I add anything to that? Or?
No, I guess our big thing as homeowners, we wanted to do the brick, just because I love the existing look of the house and I really don't want to change that. And, so yeah, we're looking just to expand a little bit, but have it look the same as it always has.
Is there any concern about finding matching brick? Have you been able to find matching brick?
Very close. I know, we had to rebuild the chimney probably about 5 years ago. And that was all new brick, but it was reclaimed Chicago common brick.
Yeah.
And if you really compare it, you can kind of tell, but it blends in. So we're looking to do that same thing.
I have a little trouble with the existing roof above the entry. Looks a little lopsided. I don't know how much effort it would be to just make it smaller, to be more symmetrical with the right-hand side. It looks, and I don't know how much trouble that would be, but it looks like it's leaning to me.
So that is the existing.
That is the existing roof,
Yeah,
correct.
Yeah.
Can it be made smaller?
If you could show the existing
Um,
house.
If you look at the original house.
We're gonna scroll to show
I
the
know
existing
that
house.
The existing second floor wall comes straight through down to the garage, and that's the load-bearing brick wall of the house.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why, like, that new second floor wall that juts out is in the same spot, because it's sitting on the load-bearing wall that's in the garage.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to better point, but.
No.
Yeah, I think I appreciate your desire for symmetry. The other trick is that it starts to, if we were to expand that second floor mass, I think that's what you're saying. I don't just want to jump up there and point.
Go right ahead.
All right, thanks. I think if you're saying if we could, sort of stretch this out to make that one-story portion look as though it's centered about that door.
Exactly.
Then the problem we would have is the garage door is here, but at the second floor,
Yeah.
the window would be off center. It's kind of like one of these, we're optimizing.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't bother me.
Yeah, the window over the door would be right up against that new wall. If you expanded it, it would look kind of compressed. So I think it would actually exacerbate the lopsidedness. The one thing that we have asked people to do, and this is a one-car garage, so I don't think it's that important as if it were a two-car garage with is something above the garage door to break up the mass. This doesn't bother me because it's a one-car garage, but that might be one of the things that, the visual things, what is it? Might even be a planter box or something on the window, something to just kind of break up the mass.
Joe, I agree with you. And in this case, I do believe the pergola or some sort of decorative canopy would kind of be nice to break up that massive space of brick between the garage door and the upper windows of the new addition. I did have some papers here showing what it could look like. I could pass this out to the group and to the architect. And we could show it, yeah, if you could show it up there.
And to Commissioner Tom's question, if you were to follow the roof line of the porch across, that might be something to.
Taking that banding over the door over
Yeah.
to the north.
So some sort of canopy or pergola type thing with brackets, I just feel like that adds a little bit more of a interest. And then, in this case, this is a one-story or one-car garage with windows above. I just feel like that expansive space that we see in your rendering, there's just such a large swath of brick that just something like this would be nice to break it up a little bit. Is that something that you've seen before or done?
I have not. But I'm not objecting.
Does anybody have any thoughts about that?
could you just maintain the existing fascia line and bring it across and have a
Yeah.
12-inch or, you know, foot or 2 foot deep roof that continues that roof line across? That would help with continuing that, breaking it up. That would, you know, continue the language of the roof all the way over. It wouldn't feel super lopsided at that point. And then you can maintain the symmetry on that new part there without having to mess too much with anything else.
Could you go back to the maybe submitted elevations, please? Yeah. I don't think it's high enough, is it? It's or low enough,
It
actually.
would require maybe messing around with the pitch on that roof a little bit to get it to come out a little bit further. Because obviously you're trying to maintain the plane on the front of the wall where it extends up to the second elevation. But if that freeze band continued across with a little bit of shingle, that would serve the same sort of purpose.
Do you follow what he's saying?
I'm following, I'm not sure, so currently this is one plane.
Yep.
So I certainly see how we could extend that fascia board.
Yep.
That fascia trim across, but that would be in one plane. And so that projection of the eave is so, it's virtually nothing. So it wouldn't really end up adding a roof projection in front of it if we were to extend that.
I'd be worried that the fascia itself may not be quite enough, that you may need a little more depth there. The only other thought that I could have would be if you did examine extending the new second story part over to the right more to align that, but in my mind that would require recentering that window, which is currently above the entryway, which opens up, I assume, a whole other bunch of cans of worms that you probably don't want to do.
Yeah, that would be far more surgical in terms of, yeah, far more costly. Which, you know, even as we're talking about this little roof is not free also, I wonder if you all might consider something to, if we were to extend that fascia trim across and did some kind of a flower box at that window, you know, so that would start to drop something here and go something across, is that something that you would be open to considering? Simply because I think that could address some of your design concerns without adding as much cost, because that is something that we're trying to be very conscientious of on the project.
What about a soldier course in the masonry?
That was something I was just thinking, if you did,
Above that door.
yeah, so you keep the brick but go vertical with a row. Are you thinking of line that still with, like that existing trim board then?
I don't think so.
Soldier course,
Above the garage door.
yeah, but how much of a soldier course would
I
you
would
say?
think sized to align with the dimensions of that existing fascia.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Jacob, at what point? At what,
Yeah, I thought we were, at first I thought you meant the soldier course.
There.
Off and above the.
Right there.
door, but you're saying
Up there.
up here?
Yep.
You know, that actually might help with your brick, with a change in brick as well, if you did just a soldier course or like just some corbelling. They create a seam between the new brick and the existing brick.
A single soldier course or a two soldier course or whatever
I think
the
single is
width?
fine.
Single.
Okay.
Enough.
Okay.
Although it does kind of make a simple elevation a little fussy. But it would be flat and it would be, it would be probably the simplest solution.
The height of that fascia.
Yeah, it would probably be the simplest solution, and it would also provide a seam between your new brick and your old brick.
True.
Homeowners?
My only thought, would that make it look, if we have a soldier course here, would that then look off-center since there's nothing existing on this side? Like,
It's almost at the top of the window.
I think your windows serve that purpose. And I think the asymmetry of the roof above the entrance, already, takes that into account, if you will, and lets just the shoulder course on the one side have its effect. To me.
How does the architect feel about that?
Adding the soldier course
Yes,
at the elevation of that fascia.
correct.
Yeah, I think that that's a very subtle detail.
Any concerns?
Being completely candid,
Yeah.
it sounds like a talking point. I don't think that when you drive down the street, you're gonna even notice that soldier course. So, I'm being completely candid with you, but.
Mr. Chairman? Yeah, go ahead.
One of the challenges we all have is when we look at two-dimensional drawings versus a photograph or 3D objects in reality. And so to kind of refine what the commission is trying to accomplish is maybe have that band recessed so that it would create a shadow line at some point. So that will be more prominent, and it will accomplish what they're trying to do, and you're trying to, it would not be a talking point anymore.
Understood. My reaction to that would be I'd rather have it project than be flush or recessed, because.
Either way, I think you're creating a shadow line at some point.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not excited about it. I think there's something very simple and clean about what we have proposed. But again, you're at your.
How does everybody feel about a soldier course either protruding out or in some way, shape, or form? Thoughts?
I don't have a problem with what's drawn.
You're good
Or-
with what's drawn?
Yeah, it's simplistic, I like it, it's fine. You don't need
Joe?
to
It's a
complicate it.
40s Georgian, and it's
Yeah.
a simple addition, it's a simple house. If we add too much to it, I think it becomes a little fussy. If it were a two-car garage, I think it would be, the mass would be a little bit more
Different.
something that we need
Agree.
to deal with. But in this case, I think it fits together really well with kind of the street and all the simple houses on the street, and, it's just it's a room addition. That's actually kind of well done with the brick. We've made applicants do the pergolas and things like that in the past with some success and with some kind of, when I look at them later, think maybe that was a little too much.
So at this point, does it sound like everybody's on board with keeping it as is at this point?
We can make a motion giving the owner the option.
Okay. Who wants to go ahead and make a motion?
I'll make a motion. We got a new list here, so I want to use it. I make a motion that a certificate of appropriateness be granted for case number, and you make me do this, 2026-001A at 8109 Laramie, as presented with the suggestion to add some corbelling or a brick soldier course along the eave line following the porch, or adding some type of additional flourish, I guess, at the upper window to break up the mass, as presented. I don't know how that works.
I second.
Okay.
Okay, we'll go ahead and vote then. Tom? Yea or nay?
Aye.
Aye. Charles?
Aye.
Joe?
Aye.
Julie?
Aye.
Jay?
Aye.
Carlos?
Aye.
Jacob?
Aye.
Mark? So passes. Thank you, appreciate you coming in tonight.
So
Good
just
luck.
to
Thank
clarify,
you.
Then we can kind of think about if we want to do.
Right.
that or- Okay, so we
Exactly,
can
yep.
make the decision.
You can make a final call.
Not one to think about.
Thank you, good luck.
Thank you, good luck.
Okay, let's move on to, what item are we on here now? We're item number 2, old business, right?
New business.
Let's do the new business first, which is case number 2026002A, 8049 Kilbourn, residential, first floor facade altercation, not altercation,
Alteration.
alteration.
The applicant is proposing to convert an attached garage that faces Kilbourn Avenue to a habitable room and construct a detached garage in the rear yard. The detached garage in the rear yard is exempt from Appearance Commission review. Staff has no objections to the proposed facade changes related to the garage conversion. The garage door on the front elevation will be removed and replaced with brick and windows to match the existing. The glass block windows on the side elevation will be removed and a double-hung window will be installed. Good evening.
Good evening, welcome, thank you.
Good evening, Chairman and Commissioners. We're proposing to remove the garage door and infill with windows. We've been looking for the brick. I actually even spoke with the bricklayer today, and they can't find a matching brick. What we'd like to do, is it easy to turn this on?
Do you need,
Have you turned this on?
it's on.
It's on.
On their front door, they have stone. And we would like to match this stone with the, use this stone to fill in the garage, underneath the window of the garage. So at least it will match the, another item that's on the building. And the other change we have, I'm sorry, is when we're looking at the layout of the room, which is gonna become a bedroom, we only had two, we didn't have one wall to put a bed on, so we'd like to remove the windows that we proposed on the south elevation. There's glass blocks that are broken right now, so we'd like to repair those and fill them in. And just on the drawings that you might have, what we submitted, it shows a window in that elevation.
Nathan, if you could just identify yourself, I'm sorry.
Excuse me?
If you could just identify yourself, real quick.
My name is Nathan Kriska. I'm the architect for the project.
Appreciate it, thank you.
Cameron's riding the home.
Thank you. So you said that you cannot locate the brick to match. The stonework that's on the front, at the front door, you can locate that?
Yes.
To match exactly.
Could you hold that elevation? I'm sorry. Yeah, that's, so the garage door is going away and windows are being added. And Nate, you're suggesting that the infill be with the stone you just showed us?
Correct, which is, you don't see it, but it's on the front door.
Right.
The front door is actually not facing the street here.
Will that driveway still be there?
No, we're gonna remove the driveway because we're putting a detached garage. It's a requirement from the village to remove the driveway. Driveway is coming out, and a detached garage will be placed in the rear of the property. There is one there now, it's a car and a half. There'll be a 2-car garage in the rear.
I assume that the village also requires the apron be removed too?
Yes.
Okay. Is there a plan for landscaping in front of that window?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we're in talks.
You can come to the podium.
Oh.
Thank you.
We are in talks with some landscapers right now, and we do not want just this dirt patch in front of our house. So we're gonna do some native landscaping.
Thank you. Anybody have any comments? It seems pretty straightforward.
Can we take a look at the proposed elevation again? Let's see from,
I don't think we actually saw it to begin with.
Do you want to see that?
It's there, do you
the
want
one
Go
that
ahead
is
and-
proposing now, that
it?
is,
Front will stay the same, we're just changing we're just,
Façade.
So you do not have an updated proposal with the stonework in the front?
no, because actually I just spoke to the bricklayer today. He
Okay.
told me he searched 4 different places.
Right.
And that was his suggestion to the homeowner, and they're okay
So what we're looking at right now is the original proposal with the brickwork below the window.
Correct.
That's the south.
Wait, that's the wrong elevation.
That's
The-
wrong.
Can
The
you show
one
the
on the
front
right is the
elevation,
south.
please?
That is the front elevation to the left.
Left. is
Ah, okay.
This is the front elevation. Nate, the brick on either side of the window, how would that be handled?
So right now, we're looking to go brick to brick.
Okay, so the window will get a little larger than what's proposed.
We're gonna do the full width of the door.
Excellent.
And then whatever we need for framing to nail the window into the house will just be wrapped with white aluminum. The rest of the house has white vinyl windows, which these will match.
So you're minimizing the stone, the land and stone that you need or whatever.
Just underneath,
Yeah.
And just in case we can't, we have to adjust the height above the window. Either we'll do siding up here or the same stone post.
Are you gonna be also doing a sill, a stone sill like the existing house
We
on the
will.
new window?
So all the windows on the existing house do have stone sills?
Yes.
Can you go back to
There's pictures.
the house? Okay, thank you.
They'll match the same as these.
Any other questions or concerns?
Looks fine.
I think it looks good.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody want to make a motion?
Sure, I'll do it.
Julie?
I make a motion that a certificate of appropriateness be granted for case number 2026-002A at 8049 Kilbourn Avenue with the addition of the stone to be placed under the front windows and removing the window that was planned for the south elevation, otherwise as presented.
Anybody want a second?
Second.
Did I do that right?
Okay, great. Let's go ahead and vote. Tom?
Yay.
Charles?
Aye.
Joe?
Aye.
Julie?
Aye.
Jay?
Aye.
Carlos?
Aye.
Jacob?
Aye.
Mark? So passed. Thank you, Nathan. Thank you, homeowner. Good luck.
Good luck, camera.
Okay, last item, old business tonight, case number 2025-025A at 7656 Crawford Avenue. This is residential second floor addition, a revision coming back to us.
This case was originally heard at the July 9, 2025 Appearance Commission. The applicant was granted a certificate of appropriateness to construct a second floor addition. The approved plans show the existing brick on the first floor being stained or painted, and the second floor addition having a hardy panel siding. The revised proposal shows the north and east elevations of the first floor consisting of a thin brick veneer adhered to the existing brick. The north and west elevations of the second floor will consist of a matching thin brick veneer, but over a framed wall. The south and west first floor walls will remain a stained or painted brick. The south and west second floor walls will remain as proposed in the original submittal and consist of hardy panel siding. Staff is not supportive of the proposed elevation changes for the following reasons. 1, the applicant would require a waiver from the section 22-63, parentheses 53, because thin brick does not count towards the 51% minimum masonry requirement for buildings that follow the International Residential Code. 2, the new elevations look incoherent with each floor having 2 different exterior materials. Staff is not supportive of the applicant's request for a waiver from section 22-63-53 and recommends the applicant follow the previously approved elevations.
Do you go by Nate or Nathan?
The old people know me as Nate. Some people know me as Nate, but I'm also Nathan. Whichever one you please, they're both fine.
Great, thanks, Nate. If you
Call
could.
me old.
The ones that I've known for years.
There you go.
Sorry.
Nate, if you don't mind, first of all, if you could confirm the proposed color palette. I'm a little bit confused by the the drawings and what we have.
Can I come up here?
Sure. Thank you.
Basically, this is the so-called thin brick. It is a masonry product, and this is the color. And you look this up.
Sure.
And the reason.
And what color is that, would you say?
I have it on the
Putty.
back there.
Putty.
Putty,
Light gray.
light gray.
And when we did the color elevation, it, obviously, computer can't do whatever we ask it to. So this is, if you look at the side picture, it really matches the color that we initially were gonna do it with. And the reason we wanna do it, the brick that we would have to use for infill, because some of the windows kinda changed in size, would not match the graining that's on the brick. And this is a nice smooth stone that I think would look very nice on this elevation. And the homeowner wanted to do the two street sides with the stone, so it looks more, cohesive, top and bottom. So this elevation is the old one that was approved. I don't know.
Do we have the new elevation, correct?
So basically, what we want to do now, this is the Crawford side and the Brummel side. We would like to use that thin brick. And the front will still have the stone to highlight the front entrance, which is on the Brummel side. And then the two elevations on the back, we will paint or stain the brick because nobody would see it as much as the street side, and do the siding on top.
You mentioned change in window patterns or placement of windows. Is that?
Some of the windows are changing in sizes, so we would have to use some infill, and then the brick won't match anyways.
Which windows are those?
In the front. You could see, like, we kind of try to use, the windows became larger, and so we would have to do some infill or corrections to the, we enlarged some of the windows also to make a correction. If you look at this one and the one that we submitted, we enlarged some of the windows.
So you're actually enlarging the windows, you're not shrinking windows?
That is correct.
Okay. Joe?
A couple of things I'm kind of curious about, and I like the fact that you're skinning over the existing brick to match the front, so that I think it's a more cohesive look. The one thing, it's already under construction, and the second floor is really visible from the south side as you're driving up from Howard. So you really notice, you're going to notice that second floor and the edge. What you're proposing, if you scroll down a little bit to the south elevation there, I'm really uncomfortable with you not wrapping the brick around, at least finding a spot where there's a good break. Because the way this is proposed now is that you've got the thin brick, and then it just stops at the corner board on the right-hand side. And it's really noticeable. So it's a one-story house just to the south of it. So as you're driving up, it's very tall.
If we match the color of the siding, would that be acceptable?
Well, it's really more about, it's thin brick. And even with a regular course of brick, it's just a skin on this side right here, so there's no like edge. And it just seems like you're faking something. Again, I like the brick, so.
I agree with the idea. That was
I'm sorry.
Ma'am, if you could come up and introduce yourself.
Maria Toma, the owner.
Go
Yes.
ahead and speak.
I like the idea that you said that. Yeah, because it's visible from the distance, and it's a big,
So if you want to do the entire elevation, or you could do a ditching, we might get rid of it, right?
Yeah.
So should we just do the whole elevation? Okay. All right, we got.
Well, that solves that.
Are you suggesting that you do in fact wrap the entire house in this?
not the entrance, just the crop, the one that you said, the crop one, not in the yard. Not in
So,
the yard.
from willing to do this entire elevation, but not the one facing the alley.
So you're suggesting doing the north, the east, and the south elevation's completely wrapped in this veneer brick, but not the west elevation. I have a few questions about this veneer brick to begin with. Is this something that you've done in the past where you've covered an entire house in a veneer brick using it on covering both brick and a substrate?
I'll be honest, I personally have not done it, but I've seen it done, and it looks, when they're done with it, they mortar it just like regular brick. At the end of the day, it looks like it was just regular brick.
So there's no concern of 5 years from now, 10 years, 15 years from now, all of a sudden we start seeing bricks falling, these veneer bricks falling
Again,
off?
depending on the guy who puts it up, number one. And two, it'd be just like regular maintenance for brick where you need tuck pointing or whatever the case would be as regular maintenance.
Anybody on the panel worked with this or seen this in the past?
I mean, they tied them with the rebar, so they stay forever.
Go
Not
ahead.
so much rebars, but those.
Yeah, tied
the
together.
metal ties.
Yes,
metal
masonry
ties.
ties.
So you screw the metal ties to the main house and they stick out and then they just hang on it, plus the mortar that they use behind it.
Joe, do you have anything to say about that?
Yeah, it's used in the industry a lot. And then you just frame out the second floor a little bit wider so that it accommodates.
Well, that was my other
Siding,
question.
So we don't have to frame it out because it's already to that point.
Yeah, right.
So if you could reiterate that, so everything would be flush from top to bottom, there wouldn't be,
The idea would be to have it flush, correct. And if we need to break it, again, we're not gonna use that break that we have now because now we'll have it flush, don't want it.
yeah, if you could go to the front so we could see how,
We're not gonna use this anymore because now we're gonna have.
what is that break that we see?
If there's a difference in gap, we were thinking of either a soldier course or, unless we end up having to flush it with the below, so it stays, level at the same, facade. We haven't put, we haven't done, the math yet to see if that thickness of brick will fit flush with it or not. But, if we have to bring it out, we will.
Can you get this in full brick or only in thin brick?
Well, the full brick,
It's
then we just have to strip the whole house, and the house is brick and block, so it
I'm
wouldn't be.
just asking because I think a soldier course could make a lot of sense here, but similarly to what Carlos was saying before, maybe having it break the plane might look nice there, but I don't think you're gonna wanna try to project a thin brick out. That'll definitely introduce
Correct.
issues. So in that instance, you'd wanna land a thicker brick there at the transition.
We'll find if they make a full brick or not.
And just to be clear, the existing brick on the lower, on the first floor remains, but it will be painted or stained?
No.
No, we
Cover
will-
it up.
We will cover it up with the.
Ah, you're gonna cover with the thin brick?
Because
full.
of the graining on it.
Sure,
it
sure.
won't match.
Gotcha, sorry, my bad.
No, no, it's fine.
Joe?
To the masonry requirement, so thin brick doesn't count as masonry?
No. The code says that thin brick doesn't count towards the 51%. So
Okay.
if you're covering the brick that's existing with the thin brick, then you're losing the percentage.
Even though it's on block and full brick?
What's the thinking behind that? Does anyone know?
Originally, aesthetically, the village wanted at least all the homes to be at least 51% brick to siding. It was not necessarily a fire code, or it was just an aesthetic code. And I think I'm going back to the 60s with that. So I feel that it's a masonry product that, when you're looking at, you're not gonna tell the difference. We have given waivers to percentages before in the past, the village has. I mean, we have homes down the street that are all siding. So that's why we're asking for the relief, because we think it's gonna make the house look better.
It would seem like the aesthetics would be the same, and it would also seem like the performance of the wall from an energy perspective would also be the same. because it's still fundamentally a masonry construction.
Yeah, you're not gonna lose on the energy, you know.
We've also accommodated hardy siding in lieu of the percentage in certain occasions as well. So it's something that we may need to take a look at in the long term because it seems like
It makes sense.
I have a couple other questions related to the front door and the stonework around the front door. So on the original plan, it looked like the front door was centered without a side light. Now we have a door off-center with an off-center side light. Is it possible to center the door and have two side lights, or center the door? It just looks a little
So
awkward.
the reason we having a hard time with it is, there's a stairway right here, and if we end up centering it, we would run into the stairway.
Yeah, just a wider door.
What was that, Julie?
Maybe just a wider door, one door.
Yeah, is it possible to
It's
offer a
already
wider?
3-foot door. It's already a 3-foot door.
Those of you on the panel that know door sizes, what are your
What do you
thoughts?
think?
They get a lot more expensive when they get bigger than 36. Is the stair existing? Or is it
It's existing to go down, but now we're having one to go up where the down
I'm
is.
sorry, the exterior stair?
They're existing, but they go in one direction towards the alley. And we want to just flare it out in all directions. to
Are you
make it look nice.
rebuilding the stair in its entirety, or are you just adding on to it,
We're
or?
gonna rebuild it.
Okay.
Could that just be centered on the door?
Yeah, could
it
we
be
s-
stretched
Yeah,
to
we
one
could,
side?
yeah, we could enlarge it to center it. Yeah, that's not a problem.
Yeah, if you're rebuilding the stoop, then
Mhm.
centering
That's
it
the time
on
to
the
do it.
door.
No, there's no objection to enlarging it.
Another question I had about the door was, and I don't know if anybody has any concerns, that looks almost a little colonial in nature with the two panels below. I don't know if a different style door, any thoughts on the door from anybody here?
I love a full glass door personally.
If you have any, she's open to any suggestion and style that you're.
Joe, what do you think of the door? Are you good with it?
honestly, it's probably gonna have a storm door in front of it. But do something kind of a little
Full
bit more,
view.
not
Full
colonial with
view.
a 3-panel. I don't, it looks like just something that you popped in there. If you think it through, I think you're gonna probably wanna do something a little bit more in keeping with the new design of the house.
Knowing her, I think she'll choose a nice
Yeah.
door.
And I do have to say, I appreciate that there isn't that little gable on the top of it.
I agree.
Well, the reason this roof is a little bit higher, when we actually built the roof to meet the height requirement, it's a little bit shallower, so that gable didn't help it a lot.
Yeah.
So that's why we took it out.
Yeah, it makes it look a little kind of twee, I guess would be the word.
I agree, Joe. I appreciate the change, Nate. With regards to that stonework, why doesn't it go all the way down to the bottom, to the,
It could, but if we widen it, we might even widen it farther, so somebody might.
the stoop?
Yeah.
Widen the stoop?
If you widen it all the way out to the stone, I think it would be really dramatic, and it would create a really nice, kind of, a nice approach.
All the way across.
All the way across?
You guys work in my favor.
It's usually the architect
No, it's the husband that does it.
that's happy that we're giving these comments.
You work in my favor.
It would,
You have no choice.
it's a really big investment, and you're close to the street, and it's gonna be a big house, and why not make it a big entrance?
I don't think we have a problem with the homework, with half of the homework.
Nathan, did you add transom windows on the first floor?
Yes.
Front elevation?
Yes.
I do like that,
We-
better than what you had before.
We ended up putting a floor joist that raised the roof, the ceiling in the first floor, and that's why we ended up putting,
Good
it looked
idea.
better in the house too.
It'd be nice to see those on the second level too, but I know that adds more cost.
Me too, though. It's okay.
But I'm glad that you did add those transoms to the lower level. Does anybody have any concerns? I know that the staff had concerns about this veneer brick. Does anybody on the commission have any concerns about the veneer brick?
Mr. Chair, I have some comments. One comment I'd like to make, and hopefully it will help you. I would not recommend that you paint the brick. You say you're going to use the veneer, right?
We were thinking of staining, not painting the rear to match.
Okay.
Staining, because I know painting peels off.
Not only that, but it can damage the brick over time.
The stain will help it breathe.
Correct. I think that I like to recommend consideration of having a base around the building rather than just all the way to the grade. I think that kind of gives a little bit more weight to the structure. And if you were to retain all the brick on the first floor and stain it, and then maybe there's some cost savings there where you can actually do the veneer in the 4 elevations. So that will be more of a finished product rather than halfway. I think that you could, I mean, I'm making suggestions. I don't know if your budget will allow. I don't know if physically can be done, but I'm more interested in the overall result and the quality of the work, because it's substantial work you're going to do this. And once it's done, my hope is that really pleases you and is another asset to the community. So right now, I think you are in the right path in terms of the proportions and where the materials go, but I think there's a certain level of detail that you can add to it, and hopefully without additional expense or a minimal expense. So I'm just making suggestions for you to kind of explore those things. What can you do to create a base? What can you do to maintain the original brick on the first floor and not paint it but stain it like you said, and also try to complete the veneer on the 4 elevations?
Just a small answer is, if you look at this sample, there's a smooth finish with, the brick is not, and that's why they chose to go with that option.
I understand, but I'm trying to encourage you to kind of think out of the box, because you are adding to an existing structure that has so many years, and I think, in my opinion, this is just my humble opinion, is that we're nice to see the transition from the original to the new, but they are compatible with each other. They're not fighting each other, they're complementing. It kind of tells the story about the building as well. So I think if you can kind of think about that as a way to make the project even more relevant in that sense, because you're covering something that is good.
I hear you, but it's not, I think it would look, well, my opinion, it
Yeah.
would not look as good if you have the old and the new that are not compatible with each other. As far as the texture on the brick and the smoothness that's on the veneer.
But you can say, the stone against the brick. There are two different exterior materials and surfaces, so that the main entrance is all stone and is complementing the rest of the house. So I think that you can extrapolate that to the existing brick, where you will have more of the original and complement that with the new material. And again, these are suggestions, because I think that everybody's trying to help you to make the best project you can.
I hear you.
Okay, thank you.
Carlos, thank you for your comments. I hear exactly what you're saying, but I tend to think if we're going to go on the route of doing this veneer, I think it's probably, in my opinion, best to do the whole thing instead of having 2 types of brick competing against each other. One would have to be stained, and the other one would be this new product. I think it would just be too difficult to it would be competing. That's just my opinion. Does anybody have any thoughts about that?
I agree.
I agree.
It also looks like you really enjoy trimming your shrubs, and your landscaping looks very tidy. So I suspect this will be landscaped similar to the way you have it now, once you're done. So I think landscape, I understand, when you're looking at a 2D, but once you get plantings around it, I think it's going to really soften everything up.
But I just want to clarify if I heard you correctly. The idea of the thin brick was for sure the 2 street elevations and doing the second floor of the west elevation, but still staining the lower level of the west and the north elevation.
In my opinion, I'd prefer to have the 3 elevations completely clad in the same, but if people have other thoughts. Joe, what do you think?
What you really see is the second floor. The house right behind it is a kind of a raised, single story.
So you wouldn't see?
You really wouldn't see it. And if you did just a separation between the existing brick, whether it's a soffit line or something, it would just make it so that it looks like it was intended and not, try to be matchy-matchy. That's an architecture term.
I'll put it in my notes.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
The elevation is the west, right? The one that is in the rear that's not visible, is that right?
Yes, correct.
Is the second story, what kind of material again?
We were going to go with the siding, the
Hardy?
hardy wood siding.
And what color is that?
I think it's, We'll find a color.
A color that matches the brick veneer?
Do you know
Like
how-
a dark gray or more of a cream or,
As much as we can towards this.
so a dark?
To match as closely as possible to the brick veneer.
Again, another suggestion, seems that everybody, at least the majority is in consensus with one way, which is fine. If you could consider, if it's possible to have a narrow exposure of the siding so that you be more compatible with the brick.
You mean use a narrower?
Yeah, so that it doesn't, again, we're trying to make it.
Look like a brick line.
Well, as close as
8 inch
possible.
go to
Right, instead of a 8-inch or 6-inch, maybe you can do a 4-inch. I don't think you can do a 3-inch exposure, but that would be more compatible with the brick size. I don't know if the board has any.
Does anybody have any thoughts about what Carlos just said? Does it sound appropriate?
I think that makes sense.
And I think they make the siding with the, even though it's an 8-inch, they make them with a 4-inch break in them, so they look like they're smaller.
Do we think we're at a point where we can make a recommendation? I think we are. Does anybody want to try to tackle what we just went through?
All right. I make a motion that a certificate of appropriateness be granted for case number, here we go again, I always seem to have to do this. It's the old business. 2025-025A at 7656 Crawford. As presented with the thin brick, as proposed on the north and east elevation and on the second floor of the south elevation, and with hardy allowed on the west elevation with a thinner profile, more in keeping with the brick size.
With the front elevation changes.
Stain finish on the lower?
Oh, the lower with the stained.
The larger stoop.
The larger stoop matching the stone elevation, and a soffit liner brick between the Z brick and the existing brick on the south elevation. Some type of a separation between the existing stained brick and the new brick.
And a door, more in keeping with the style of the house.
A sexy door.
Bright color.
Does anybody want to second that?
Second.
Okay, we will vote. Tom?
Aye.
Charles?
Aye.
Joe?
Aye.
Julie?
Aye.
Jay?
Aye.
Carlos?
Aye.
Jacob?
Aye.
Mark, aye. So passes. Thank you. Appreciate you taking the time to work through this with us. Good luck with your project.
Have a nice evening. all.
Thank you.
Good night.
Okay, I believe that takes care of the items on our list tonight. At this time, we will begin general public comments. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per speaker. 3 minutes per speaker. A reminder that the commission members will not engage in direct responses. This period is intended solely for public input. Staff will document any matters requiring follow-up, and speakers will be contacted after the meeting with the appropriate staff member. Do we have anybody speaking tonight? Hello.
Hello.
If you could identify yourself, please.
Sure. David Dalka, 9330 Laurel Avenue.
You'll have 3 minutes to speak. Thank you.
I spoke here last month, making a number of recommendations that we request of the mayor and the village manager and the trustees that we expand the scope of this commission to include property standards, because it's the only place that's appropriate with the professionals that are here and the thoughtfulness that's given to this. This village has a large number of buildings that are decades old that have not been maintained probably. The wisdom of this group could make this a beautiful village. I'm here tonight to ask you to request that the mayor, the village manager, and the trustees do whatever they have to do to expand the scope of this commission to include publicly nominated property standards issues. For example, at our address in the past 5 years, 9330 Laurel, a fence permit was granted at 9334 Laurel that should have never been granted. The fence, we have an existing fence. They put a fence next to our fence. It looks like shit. It has grass growing between it. The Public Works Department has admitted to me on record that that permit should have never been granted. I don't have a remedy to my problem. This group of people is qualified to help me create a remedy, but they're not empowered to currently. I want to give you guys more power to fix things such as that. On the screen here before you, you see the dilapidated property at 9401 Lawn. 9401 Lawn. I invite each one of you to drive by this property in the next week and ask yourself the question, is the 3 items you did tonight more important than fixing this? And you'll see that these gutters are falling apart. You'll see the original antenna from when the house was built in the 1950s. You'll see that the gutters aren't even connected to downspouts. You'll see that there's 3 cars in the driveway that don't have current valid state license stickers on them being stored in public view on the driveway. This house is a disgrace to the village of Skokie. The ComEd properties next to our house from Terminal to the end of the village are filled with invasive species from Africa known as henbit, and the entire properties need to be dug up 1 foot down, and all that stuff needs to be removed, and ComEd needs to put in new soil and new grass and talk about making it work with the Park District. Des Plaines has a program where the ComEd properties work with the Park District to make them usable land for the village, and they're maintained at a golfway, fairway, level, Caddyshack level. Lastly, the ComEd property on Church Street right there needs landscaping instead of us all seeing trucks. Thank you.
Sir, thank you. Appreciate your time today. You will be contacted by the village with the appropriate staff members in due order. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Aye. Great. Thank you. That's it for tonight's meeting. We will see you next month, February 11th.